Thank you for the gift that he has been to us. And the way
I knew I was in the right place from the moment, you walk in the door. It's just like, it's a presence of God, as a presence of miracles. Everybody greets you. Every staff, from the person who works at the receptionist to, the physical therapist, the respiratory therapist, and the smile that I seen on my son's face when he sees his nurses coming to take care of him is truly amazing.
He wasn't too keen on it at first because he was like, coming to a children's hospital was like, I'm not a child. And that was something he had said. And I said, give it a chance, just give it a chance. And he wasn't hearing it that first day. But now you can't tell him anything. I know he's ready to go home, but he's formed so many relationships here, so many bonds here.
How's your stay at Bethany been so far?
Oh, I love it. Love here, yeah. I like the nurses, the environment's pretty good. I'm grateful for them all. Really grateful.
What is the story that you think God is writing with this? I mean, it's a pretty incredible story.
It truly is. It's an incredible story, and I think it's a story that brings people together. I mean, he has so many, visitation, get well cards. His story is changing lives, is bringing people together. It's showing that God is still performing miracles. Don't doubt him, of what he can't do, because he can do everything.
So it was just a normal Saturday. I had film for football. Me and my cousin were with each other the entire day. We wanted to go to a haunted house. So as we were driving there, we get there and it's like a right-hand turn. Had to slow down. There's a median. I didn't see the other dude, but they said that he basically had jumped the median, and then out of nowhere, like, it just got hit.
Eisenhower football player is in the hospital after being in a crash. That happened last Saturday near Highway 7 and Trail Road. The crash left Kobe Devot badly injured, and he needed to be flown to OU Medical for treatment.
I remember getting pulled out the car, and then after that, I was laying on the ground and I couldn't move, and after that, lights out.
What took 20 minutes felt like forever to get to the scene. And I remember seeing the truck flipped upside down, and no mother should see something like that. And I just thought that it was the end. And I just remember I prayed and I prayed and I prayed and I said, just let him be okay. Because I couldn't even remember if I told Kobe I loved him before he left out. Like, those were the things that were going through my head as a mother. So we get to the hospital, and that's when I met my husband.
I was already there. When the helicopter landed, I talked to the doctor on site, and he said, Mr. Devot, we're gonna try to get him stabilized. Please wait in the waiting room. And I was like, hey, I want to see my son. And so we got to get him stable before you can go and see your son. An hour later, an eyewitness that was there on the scene of the accident drove to the hospital, a person we don't even know. He stays an hour away. And he came, he said, are you Mr. and Mr. Devot? We said, yes. He said, the reason why he's here was God would not let him go home until he came and gave us a prayer. So he sat there and prayed for us, somebody we didn't even know. He prayed with us, and he said, everything is gonna be fine. He's gonna be okay. Maybe about an hour later, the chaplain comes downstairs. She said, Mr. and Mr. Devot, you can now see your son. And we're like, hey, that's great. So we walk up to the second floor of the trauma unit, and the doctor is outside. And she told us, she said, I'm sorry for your loss. Your son has passed away.
When we got to him, he was just laying there with tubes, eyes shut.
His whole body was cold, and there was no life. Like there was no life. About 20 minutes into it, I left. I left the hospital, went outside in my car, and just kept praying. I couldn't take it. I couldn't take all the tears, the crying from my wife and my grandmother. It was too much for me.
I grabbed Kevin, and we went in there so Kevin can say his final goodbye to his brother. And I caressed his hand, and I told him, I said, Mommy loves you, right? And he shook his head. And so when I told the nurse, she said, no, it was just the and the reflex. So I said, okay. So my mom grabs his hand and tells you, Kobe, Granny loves you. And he shook his head. So the nurse said, Kobe, if you can hear me, stick your tongue out. And he stuck his tongue out.
So I'm in my car, and about 2 hours later, I get a text from my wife. Hurry up and come upstairs. So I rush upstairs. She said, babe, he's back. I said, what you mean he's back? She says, look, Kobe, can you hear me? He's nodding his head.
I remember the next day, everybody walking past his room, just looking in amaze, like, what in the world happened? And I remember the doctor saying the heart doctor is going to come in and talk to you because his heart was weak. So I said, okay. He came in, he said, there's nothing wrong. When the caseworker was saying they were going to send him to Bethany, I remember leaving the hospital and my dad walking me outside, and I told him, I said, I can't do this. It's too hard. So he sent me different Bible scriptures. The first one was John, and it talked about Mary taking Jesus to the tomb to wake Lazarus up. And in the beginning of it said Lazarus of Bethany. And I said, that is our sign right there.
What have you been working on really since you came here?
Just getting my strength back in my arms, and I've been doing some arm bike exercise so I can get more muscle.
When he first got here, he couldn't move his left arm at all, period. After about a week and a half, he was starting to get movement in his left arm. He couldn't speak. He had a speech therapist who worked with him twice a day. He started speaking better. Everything just started getting better.
God is not done with him. He has a story with Kobe. He has things to do through Kobe. He doesn't know how much he is loved and how much he has brought everybody closer to each other. He's our miracle.